person asked me the question, Ben, where should I be at the top of my backswing? Now, very general question. A, there is no right answer, and it very much depends on the person that we're speaking to, right? Many people have different builds. As you notice, I'm short and broad. Some people are tall and skinny, right? So everyone's going to have their own backswing. Now, there are a couple things that we look for to make sure that, that it's acceptable. First thing that I want you to understand is that golf is a circle, right? Now, when the ball is on the ground, very easy to think that if you take the club straight back and straight through, that the ball should go straight. Very easy to think that. But what I want you to understand is a general concept that Charlie King taught me, and I think this is probably one of the best ideas that you will get if you understand this. If the golf ball, instead of being teed up just a little bit on the ground, if it were teed up on a giant tee, and it were basically waist high or a little bit above waist high, you wouldn't need a golf instructor because you wouldn't swing like this. You wouldn't do it. And at the same time, you wouldn't try to swing like this, right? And if you saw somebody do that, you'd be able to fix them, right? If the ball were teed up at waist high, we would all generally have the same looking swing. It'd be very round, right? And as I'm doing this, I want you to notice a couple of things. So on my backswing, you can see that my right elbow's folded. My hands are wide from my chest, so I'm not narrow. Right? That's going to be the main thing I want you to work on. We're going to stay wide and let our right elbow fold. And then on the forward swing, notice my left elbow folds and my hands are wide from my chest again. So I'm not real narrow, but I'm not too far out. Right? So if the ball were teed up here, this would be the general shape of our swing. Right? Now, if I had a laser beam pointing out of this club at the ball, this would be my perfect swing. But golf's not teed up at waist high, it's on the ground. So we take this swing, and now it's tilted over, right? So when I tilt over, you notice that the club goes from flat, or level to the ground, to angled, right? So it's not too flat, it's not too steep, it's angled, right? So, when we take our backswing, we want that club to be at an angle. So this would be too flat or too shallow. This would be too steep or vertical. We want it to be at an angle, right? Now, the main thing I want you to work on in your backswing is to stay wide, right? Now, what do I mean by staying wide? If the distance from our hands to the buttons on our shirt were, let's make up any number, let's say 10 feet, okay? We want to keep 10 feet throughout our golf swing. So right here I have 10 feet. As I take my backswing, I want to keep that 10 feet. Now notice, if I take a full swing and I stay wide, notice where that club is. It's not quite parallel. I would say the majority of people that need to go to parallel are very few. I see a lot of people think that, the length is power. Right? And what happens is when you try to get your club to go parallel, your arms get very narrow. Left arm breaks down, arms get real close to you, get real narrow at the top because you're trying to get the club to go long. We don't want that. We want to stay wide. Width is power in the golf swing. So we want to take our backswing, stay very wide, and at the same time, we want that club to be angled. Okay? So a great drill to do at home would simply be make circles at waist high. Now if I do this, let's see what it looks like. Not too bad of a shot. Do this at home and you will find out that you will get the ball more on target and you will can create a more consistent backswing.